Sorry, let me adjust the camera. Hello again to all YouTubers who are interested in my videos that I am starting to make. I am now on part 2 of mapping a continental world. And yes, there's my cat over there. What I found out was that, just a second, my cat might cross over. No, move! Move. Alright. What I found out was that doing the 8 sections is tough. It really is, because you have to draw it to scale, and I'm not a very good artist. I think my map as a whole is the best I've ever drawn anything. So basically, if you want to see the other video to where I describe what I'm talking about with the 8 different sections, it should be right here. So what I have taken to doing was doing each place of interest and then grouping them all in a folder for the different 8 sections. God. Sorry, being my cats are nocturnal, they are hyper right now. So basically, I'll have a folder, and then with the I'll be right back. Kitty. Alright, come on, you're going out. Alright. Now I have the young one out of the way. So, for the 3rd time, I'm going to be grouping each section of my map, the 8 different sections: north, south, east, west, northwest, southwest, southeast, and northeast. All those sections are going to be grouped in a folder, and well, it'll be 8 folders. And basically, these 8 folders will contain the places of interest. So, if you did not watch the last video, go back and watch it, because I was talking majorly about the different parts. And it was more on let's see if I can get it on the camera right, southeastern part of my map, called the Nothing. And over by the Nothing was Kellrode, Shivering Isles, and Pirate's Paradise, or Pirate's Paradise of Eldritch. That's what it was. So, in the folders, this is what I will be putting. And that was the section that I tried my best to make over here, by the Nothing. Now, here I have my different parts. I have this right here. That right there is the claw. This over here is, I think of that sharp tooth golf. Yeah. And then I have I have the Gap, I have the Dead Man's Path, I have um, Sif's Passage, I have Skol Island, quoting King Kong. I have The Claimed, I have Dead Man's Gulf. I also have a little civilization right there in that red spot. And that's called Kulsov's Beach. And basically, pirates live there, and there's two ways to get in, so that way you can avoid the reefs. There's going through Butcher Bay, and they call it Butcher Bay because there's cannons lined up that are inside of the rock, the island itself. And basically, any pirate ship or any different kind of ship other than pirate, it has actually does not raise white flag or a notorious flag itself. And just to go back to Pirates of the Caribbean that I was talking in last video, if they're not showing up Davy Jones or if they're not showing up Davy Jones or like Blackbeard or something that is highly recognizable, then they're shot down with the cannons that are embedded in the wall or the cliffs of the island. And that is the Claimed, which a blue native, a tribal, blue-skinned, four-armed native creature with sucker mouths that come down and, well, they generally suck up ants. They're human-sized, but they control a large portion of the island itself, but they don't control all of it because the pirates' technology is too advanced where they can't overtake them easily and without significant calculations. They're smart enough to know that if we go in there, it's suicide. So we'll guard this part, but it will be only a matter of time before the pirates take over this part of the island, and that entire part of the island is called the Claimed. It's called Claimed because it's not entirely claimed, but it's claimed by the indigenous people still. And then we have what? We have Dead Island. Dead Island supposedly holds most of your spirits. So, down to the nitty gritty, we have your zombies. We have your ghosts. We have your ghouls. We have your specters. And then there's one notorious one, and that is a lich. And it is rumored that his name is Gorgonus. And he's supposedly a shard mind from a time long past. Apparently somehow he went against all civilization for whatever reason, and he is now controlling this island and controlling most of the environment. He usually controls the zombies. How he does this is that he has changed the environment to where the grass itself has little blades on it that can, after a while, cut through pants, cloth, leather, but like I said, it'll take time. Souls, not so much, although it does do damage to them. And the grass is also excreting this poison. Now, it's not a awful poison, but it gets worse the longer that you stay in Dead Island. Those who continue to stay in Dead Island die and become zombies and become one of his undead army. So they don't mess with him, ever. They just leave him to his business. And usually, people like going through Butcher Bay instead of out to let's see, that was the Claw, right? Yeah. If I can get my map right. Yeah, the Claw. And Dead Island on this map is right there. Right there. And yes, there's a volcano. There's three volcanoes on this isle. So, like I said, they usually don't go through the claw because nobody knows what will happen. But people don't want to go through Butcher Bay because of all the cannons. So, they either take their risks with going through the Dead Man's Path or through Sif's Passage. Now, through Sif's Passage, which is by Skol Island, or Seth's Island, I should say, there are sirens, and the lead siren is named Seth. And for me, it does not really matter what gender can't think of their name. Let's see. Sirens. It does not matter to me what gender the sirens are. As long as they can seduce somebody and make them feel that they are more worthy and are more likely to spend their life with them because their family, through this magic, has disgraced them, and they're the only ones that matter to them at that moment. That is my idea of a siren. So yes, if I believe in the idea of, even though there are the homosexuals, and I don't really mind that, don't get on the wrong page, I totally support it. But I do not think that sirens, like in the myths, or like in Sinbad, I should say, the cartoon, should affect the same gender. And this provides almost an immunity, but it hits the point of, well, what exactly do those sirens of the same gender influence? Do you become best pals, or do you just not affect, like, some guy, some magical spirit? Over in the Shivering Isles, the Gap usually, or not the Gap, but Dead Man's Path usually has a lot of shipwrecks. So a lot of spirits are stored there, and if you can look on here, Dead Man's Path and Seth's Passage, which are... That's Dead Man's Path, and this is Seth's Passage, because I noticed during school today that you can go up here, right here. Might get a little tough, but you can do it. So, you would swim over here and go to Calso's Beach. Or you can follow it up through here and go to Calso's Beach. Butcher Bay is right here. Okay. All this right here is how you get to Calso's Beach. So, right here, Seth's Passage is where all of your sirens are. Over here is where all your shipwrecks are. So, when you have shipwrecks, it's easy to have an idea, being that right next door is an undead island, quote-unquote dead island. So it's not crazy to think that spirits would be there from the sunken ships that were there. So that's what I have for it. That's how they got there. Their motivation, if you're going to use this idea and incorporate it in your game or story, use whatever you want. I don't mind it. You can take my ideas and run away with them if you want. But that is my primary idea. So, we're approaching on 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So, down onto our last part of Kellrode Shivering Isles. Now we have Skol Island. Skol Island is not meant for the skulls, that are on, like, thrones, and you see this mage just holding it on the tip of his fingers. No, nothing like that. It's named Skol Island because it is the safest place amongst the 3 major islands. The other ones, the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Among the all 15 islands, that one's the safest. Because yes, there were tribals there, but there was not enough to totally overrun or totally take over that entire island of the Skol Island. So they took that entire place over and are now living in the cliffs. I will be trying to make another map for the city, or Kalso's Beach, because what I'm imagining is so far is you have this beach, and then you have your dock, and basically the dock is attached to the cliffs, but you can walk across and you'll eventually hit your beach. And along this beach are whole bunches of buildings. You can go further deep inside in order to find out what else is there. That's my idea of it. That's what I want to try. Sorry, I'm trying to tuck stuff in. So, my mellow cat is exploring. So, I have Skol Island. Now, what resides here are... Let's see. Also, I have this. This will allow me to keep track of my notes and what all happens in that area. Like also for the sea, you have your sharks, you have your fish, you have your mermaids, you have your sirens, but you also have your elemental spirits. And those are your water elementals and your earth elementals. And your air elementals if you want to go by wind. So, throughout this, on Skol Island, what is mainly there are the pirates. You know, pirates. You know, have a hook. And it's named Kozlo's Beach because Kozlo is basically the governor. And he's a scorpion man with ceramic-looking armor with different engravings on it, with ebony skin and dreadlocks that are beaded, and he has a giant scar that's a brighter brown coming across his eye. He's not brutal, but he will do whatever he needs to do in order to make stuff function. Because for Kozlo's Beach, he is the governor, quoting The Walking Dead as an annotation. If that's as an analogy, that's what I was thinking of. Now, the second thing that is on there are your... Well, these are custom to my world, Cormandine. And these have no name, but the pirates call them the worms. Not the worms like big, medium-sized dragons. No, worms, you know. Stuff that you pick out of the backyard every single time that there's rain. And grass. Worms, you know. And these worms eat metal like the rust monsters. So what will happen is they'll only bring wood. So they'll bring stakes, they'll bring shivs, but they won't bring anything with metal because these worms eat metal and they can smell it through rock. So they don't usually bring their stuff along. They bring along, like I said, stakes, shivs, spears, and they basically go almost like the tribals over on the Claimed. However, not as, I don't want to say calculated, but not as primitive. They have an idea of what to do. They know that they should burn the tip in order to harden it, so forth. They know that stuff in order to protect themselves in case anything breaks out. in, say, a bar. So, he's a scorpion man. Oh yeah, there's also a thing called the Pirate's Code. And this only applies in Kalso's Beach. And it is to be honorable amongst pirates. So, if you are going to duel, they will bring out snapped sticks, that kind of like how Joker did it. He would snap a stick with pointed edges on them, and they would say fight, and put them in the opponent's hands. Whoever kills each other without cheating gets to have whatever they wanted. Usually, pirates don't want to die. So, they will That's my mom. She would me. Just kidding. But, like I said, there's the thing called the Pirates Code, where you honor each pirate's lives, so to say. You honor each other's deals. And this is mainly brought up by Calso. Calvo's Barabel in my Star Wars game that nobody liked, but it was hilarious because he was in charge. So, they would break sticks, put them in each other's hands, and have them fight. And since pirates want to live, it's whoever stabbed who first. This would usually be in a kinder manner, so to say. I don't know if you've ever been stabbed, but I have an idea that it's not a nice feeling. So, they'll do first kill, first stab, first cut. Usually, if they are out for blood in Kalso's Beach, it will be I stab him. Then there is, like, for example, I want to stab him so that way I can take his ship. Okay. You stab him in the leg. He can't run that far, but you can outrun him to his ship. And then, say it's over something dumb, first cut. If they got you, oh well, you lost. Pay up your dues. After you get out to sea, all those rules are gone. That's how you can have your classic pirate, where they blow up the ship to get the loot. However, on the ship that you serve on, the crew have an unspoken contract. So almost like the social contract amongst gamers. And it's called, originally, the Crew's Code. And I will go through it with you. First off, rule number 1. Laugh with the captain. Now, this is mainly to make the captain look more intimidating and, well, give up most of everybody else's stuff. You know, get the booty from the other ships. And then there is split the booty evenly. That means everybody gets a fair share of their lot, except for the captain and the first mate. They get slightly higher because they ran the ship. They barked the orders. Honor the Pirate's Code. This is optional. Honoring the Pirate's Code is only if it is a small squander. It will only go up to first cut. That is it. That is how high it will rank amongst the 3 different options. Those who commit infractions, like they mess up on one of their duties, they are flogged 5 times per infraction. So, say that the heroes are in the middle of a hurricane. I don't know why you would have that, but say that it just suddenly spawned out of nowhere from some sort of strange magic that occurred just a little bit outside of Pirate's Paradise of Eldritch. Because Eldritch is unknown arcane magic. So, you spark it up, and one of the guys cuts something that they're not supposed to. Afterwards, if they make it out alive, switch! 5 flashes, depending on how bad he messed up. That's what it means by infraction. Laziness is unacceptable, meaning that if you slack off, you're flogged. Hazards happen. Do your job to the letter and you'll survive. I'll go back to my last example. That person that didn't do his job correctly and cut the line that he was not supposed to, he may live or die. Do as the captain says. Kill if they resist. Spare if they give in. And those with the most lashes are to stay aboard to restock the ship in case they need to go in for a resupply. And then those with the most experience leave to navigate new land. So those who know more go. They keep the ship there, but they send the people who know what they're doing out. And then they bring in the newbies in order to command them, just as you would do in ROTC. So this, that, the other thing, and it's done. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my small detail of the... see, there's the camera. Kellrode Shivering Isles. If anybody wants to get a picture, take it now. I will try to post a picture up of the map through my Photoshop trial that I mentioned in the description of my last video. I will try to cut out all the parts of the counter that I'll be taking a picture on. So that way, if you guys want to use it for your guys' own games, or if you guys want to use it for your guys' stories, but you want to do something else with it, you're free to do so. Like I said, I don't mind if you take anything away from my videos. It's just, I would like for people to be creative with it, be imaginative. I don't mind that they take my map. I don't mind if they take my continent map. As long as they can find something original and something imaginative to do with it that sounds cool, totally cool with it. So, as said in the last video, happy bananas.